Sony recently announced a firmware upgrade version 4.00 to its mirrorless cameras, the Alpha 1 Mark II and the Alpha 9 Mark III. In this video, I'll be showing you how to upgrade firmware on your Sony Alpha 9 Mark III. The process is similar for Alpha 1 Mark II camera. The only difference is that you have to download the corresponding Alpha 1 Mark II firmware update file from Sony's website. Now this version adds few interesting features and improves the existing features and improves the overall stability of the camera. You can go and check link in the description box below to check the complete list of features that have been added in version 4.0. Hello, I am Kedar Bhatt, Sony artisan from India. So let's begin the process. If your camera is already installed with firmware version 4.00, you need not do anything and you can simply skip this video. But if your firmware version is 3.01 or lower than that, then this video is for you. So let's check the current firmware version of your camera. Press the menu button, go to the last tab called Setup, go to the last or 13th item called Setup option, scroll down, go to the version, and here we can see the current firmware versions of our camera body and the lens. Go to Body. Now it shows the camera body name and the current firmware version as 3.01. Also note that the software update button is grayed out. You cannot click it because we don't have the firmware update file yet on our memory card. Once we have it, it will be enabled and we can press that button. Now let's begin our firmware upgrade process. Make sure your camera battery is fully charged to 100%. Also, if you have a vertical grip attached to the camera, remove it before updating the firmware. Now insert a SD card or a CF Express Type A memory card in the slot 1 of your camera. Remember slot 1 and not slot 2 because the camera will look for the new firmware update data file on the memory card in slot number 1 of your camera. Now let's format this memory card. Before formatting, make sure you have copied all the data from your memory card. Press Menu, go to the third menu tab called Shooting, go to Media, Format, select slot 1, enter, press Execute Format. Now the memory card in slot number 1 will be formatted. Once the formatting is complete, remove the memory card and insert it in your computer. Alright, now let's download the latest firmware from Sony's website sony.co.in. Go to the support page, go to the firmware software page, and on this page in the search box type 9M3, our camera model, ILCE A9M3. Click on the model number and now on this page click on the link that says update version 4.00. Check the release date, it is 30th October 2025. Go through the documentation and click download. On this page, if you want, you can read the license agreement and scroll down to the bottom of the page and click download. Choose destination of the file on your computer and save it as it is. Do not rename this file. This file is about 1 GB, so it will take some time to download. Once the file is downloaded, copy this file bodydata.dat to the root directory of the memory card and not inside any folder on the memory card. This is very important, otherwise the camera will not detect this file. Once the file is copied, remove the memory card and insert it in slot number 1 once again. I repeat, slot number 1 and not slot number 2 of your camera. Now back to our camera menu, go to Version, Body. It still shows the current firmware version as 3.01, but now the software update button is enabled and not grayed out. This is because our camera has detected the firmware file that we just copied to our memory card in slot number 1. Now go ahead and click on software update button. It will ask for confirmation to update the firmware. Scroll down till you reach the bottom of the page. Choose execute instead of cancel, enter, and now the firmware update process has started. The screen will go completely blank for about 5 to 10 minutes. Remember, do not switch off the camera or press any buttons on your camera while the firmware update process is going on. Let the camera do its thing. Near the battery compartment, a small red LED light will be continuously blinking, indicating that the firmware update process is going on inside your camera. And finally, after 5 to 10 minutes, the camera screen will show a confirmation message saying body update complete. It means our firmware version 4.00 is successfully installed. So hit OK, and now your camera is ready to use with the latest firmware version 4.00. As a last step, let's verify if our camera shows the firmware version 4 that we just installed. It shows the camera's firmware version as 4.0 instead of 3.01. So this is how we have successfully updated our Alpha 9 Mark III camera's firmware to the latest firmware version 4.0. Hope this was helpful. If you would like to learn any particular features of Sony mirrorless cameras or lenses, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try to make a video on it soon. Follow me on my Instagram, that's kd_kedarbhatt, or visit my website kedarbhatt.com to see my work. Thank you and bye for now.